So we're going to start making some jewellery, but before we do, we need to master some skills. So we're going to be making circles, squares and triangles. We're going to be cutting them out of a bit of sheet like this. Something like that. I've already cut something out of that. Yeah, we're going to draw circles, squares and triangles on here, and then we're going to cut them out with a saw, with a simple saw like so. And these are like the basic shapes you need to make jewellery, because it's got all the round curves, it's got the straight lines and the pointy bits that you need when you go and look at a bit of jewellery. So if you went to a shop and you look in the window and you can see all the different shapes, you need to master all these sort of things with cutting them out with a saw frame and using the file to get the curves and the straight lines exactly how you want them. Basically, these are what we call in the jewellery industry as practice pieces. So we keep going over these three shapes until we are 100% satisfied with our new skills. Now, I will do them first of all, and then come back to them every time you've done something new. So let's say we cut out a butterfly. After we've done a butterfly, go back and do your circles, squares and triangles again. I'm going to give you a view of my bench as how I see it. Now this is my peg. Now this is a tool, believe it or not. You are leaning everything against that, you cut into it, you drill into it, you do absolutely everything to it. I've glued it, I've put my initial on it, I've put a hook in it. Right, that's not mad, I've put a hook in it because this flips both ways. So I pull this out and you've got a tapered edge and a flat edge. So you put it in and then hang my saw off of it. Every time I need my saw, I just grab it, start. Right, but when we're cutting out of a bit of sheet like this, we want to have on a flat surface. So when have it on a flat surface, so when we cut with our saw, this angle here, let's get right in here, this angle here, this one is a complete right angle. So when you've got your metal here and then your saw here, when you cut the circle out, it will be completely flat, rather than maybe cutting it out at that angle or maybe this angle. To demonstrate what I mean, the side of that piece of sheet here, if you cut it the other way around, what you do is you tend to lean with the angle. I'll show you what I mean. You don't have it flat. Have it flat there, but this tapered angle, what you'll do is when you start to cut, you'll start to move like that. And then when you do that, this ends up changing because this is up a hill. So this is why I always turn this over when I'm cutting out. So it's like that. Dividers. Brilliant tool. When you buy one of these, you will never need to buy one again. They're brilliant. So I'll put a link onto one of them as well if you don't have one. If you're starting this and you haven't got any of these tools, just carry on watching, and you'll get to see how I use the tools and whatnot. get the tools, and then when you arrive in a post, unwrap them, get going, get this video on, and you can start straight away, and you will never look back, trust me. You will love it. Okay. Dividers. I'm going to find a point. Now I start close to the edge of my metal. I'll start like that, because I'll show you. If you start near the edge of your metal, what you do is you save metal. Because if I put a bit, you see that circle? See that circle? Now if I put that circle right in the middle here, now I'm going to cut a circle out there, and now all the outside along here is smaller metal. I don't know when I'm going to be able to use that again. I can never judge on how much metal I'm going to need at any sort of job. Okay, so you can see my circle. Now I'm just going to, before we start, got your saw blade. Before we start, you've got your saw blade. You probably won't pick it up on here. You might be able to actually. You can see the teeth. If you can't see the teeth, don't worry. Basically, the teeth are like that. They're facing down the blade, okay? So when you cut, your cut is on the downward stroke. Now what I mean by that is when you go up, you don't cut anything. When you go down, you cut. You can feel the resistance, okay? So when you put your blade in, teeth always go down here, like that. Now what you do, is you get your saw frame, put your blade, you tighten one end here like that, on this little wing nut here, twist that. Now lean your weight in to the saw frame so it flexes, and now tighten this again. So you tighten both of these ends. Don't do it with a pair of pliers like that. If you get a pair of pliers on here like this, you're going to ruin this thread. Don't do that. If I catch you doing that, I'll jolly well tell you off. Right, so when you push in, the blade flexes. Right, and then when it's tight, you're going to have hours of fun doing that. Right, okay, let's cut this circle. Stop mucking about. Okay, so now my teeth are going down, so every downward stroke, it cuts. Yeah? I'm not putting any pressure on that blade. I'm literally letting the blade do the work. So it's like the weight of the blade is doing the cutting. I'll also turn my piece of metal at the same time as I'm cutting, because it will help with the curvature of my circle. There's a little high spot here. Now all I'm going to do is use my thumb here to support the back of the blade, just so I can move it up and down just a little bit, just to get it moving. Literally what I've done there, where I've got my circle coming along here, there was a big bump where I've missed. So what I've done is I've come along here, cut it more, and then taking that bump out so it's more of a curve, like that. Right, broken saw blade. It's going to happen. You're going to break quite a few when you first start. What I'm going to do is put another one back in. I'm looking at the teeth, make sure they're facing the right way, and they're not. Oh. So I'm going to turn it round, have a little look, twist it, push, twist, release. Okay, to make sure that you don't break it again, just give it a little shimmy down to where you was. Okay, so now just let the blade, let the saw do the work again and just carry on going round. All the time I'm doing this, I'm pushing this sheet around, this sheet of silver. So keep on twisting. Just try and keep to the left side of that line as close as possible without going over the line. The last thing you want to do is go over the line. Now, if you're doing this and you've already gone over the line, get your dividers again, put them in the middle and make a smaller circle. So literally all you do is you twist your dividers to make a smaller radius for you to make a smaller circle and start again. The key thing to these shapes is that they're practice pieces, and they're called practice pieces for a reason, because you practice doing them. The first time you do them, they're not going to be perfect, but we will get there in the end. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a buff stick. Right, so I've got 2 grades of emery paper here. So this is a 400, which is very rough, and then we've got a 1200, which is smoother. It doesn't matter too much about the colours, it's just whatever you can get hold of really. I'm going to have a link down the bottom for emery paper, but I'm just going to show you how to make a buff stick. Okay, at first of all, you need some sort of surface you don't mind scratching up a bit. So if you've got a bench, that'll be fine. Now, here's my bit of wood. You can just get this down at Wood Merchants, or yeah, then again I'm going to have a link below. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot, so please bear with me. Alright, so buff stick. I'm going to start on the side here, and I've just got this dart point which I'm going to use to score the paper. You can use anything you want really. You can use a nail or yeah, anything really. I had an old dart. I don't play darts. I think I actually stole this off of my brother, but don't tell him. You need something with a bit of a point, not too much, not a sharp point, but just it's more for accuracy than anything else. We don't want to cut this, so don't get a scalpel or anything like that, because you'll be cutting it. We don't want to cut it, we want to fold it. This is going to aid us to fold our paper. So now it's on the side here like this. We're going to score a line along here. There we go, just go over it a couple of times. And then we get this and just fold it and run a little finger along here like that. Fold it over. Now we lay this along here like that. Same again. Ooh, score it a couple of times, fold it over. Make sure you push this in here like that, really tight. Get that right in there. Fold it over again. Now, this time when we do it, I'm going to score and twist my dart point at the same time. Now the reason I do that is here you've got your emery paper, and if you keep scoring it down one side, you're going to have a flat point. It's not going to be nice and round anymore. You want to twist like that. Twist with light pressure. And hold it up like this and then fold like that, because we want a really nice fold. See? Now we've got that in there nice and tight. Again, twist, light pressure, twist. I literally just twist like that. I don't rotate, I just twist. Push right in there, make sure you push it in there, get that corner nice and tight, because the tighter the corner, the more accurate it is when you're buffing, and the sharper and the better your bit of jewellery will be. You can have all sorts of shapes of buff sticks. You can have triangular ones, you can have half round ones, you can have round ones. And I would just you buy a pack if you want of different shapes. They're not expensive. Go down your wood merchants, find a bit of wood that you like, and just cut it up to the length that you want. Oh, that's about 40 centimetres, 40 centimetres, something like that. Have a experiment on paper as well. So if you go down to your local hardware shop and have a look at paper, buy a couple of sheets at a time, or you could just, if you find something that you like, just buy a pack. Completely up to you. Now we've got a little bit of an overhang, so I'm just going to spool that along there and push hard, twist, push hard, so it comes off. Okay, now we've done that, we're going to get a bit of sellotape. Now this is what I do. Where you've got your fold here, I start about here, get hold of that sellotape, push it down, get it nice and tight and stuck, and then I pull nice and tight along here like that. Then keep wrapping it round. And then I'll get my point and score along there. Take that excess off and do the other end. There's my fold. Put it on here like this. Yeah, make sure it's stuck. It's because I'm doing it left-handed. Right, there we go. Put it nice and tight. Again, get my point. Score. 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 Job done. Lovely new crisp buff stick. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the buff stick and then we're going to buff this here. Now we're going to go across this rather than along it like we did when we buffed it and when we filed it. So there's a reason for that. Now I'm going to show you. Okay, imagine this is our disc. Right, my drawing is terrible, so bear with me. So this is our round disc here like this, and then you've got the side here like that, right? So when we file, we create little lines in here like this. If you was to look under a microscope. Now if you was to look along the side, it would be like that. Exaggerated, it will be like that though. So what we do is we get our buff and go along this way. So what that does is it will take the tops of that off down till we have a complete nice flat, like so. So we get our disc and we go across like this, and we start with the 400 because that's the rough paper. So you imagine all of this is like lines. So when you file, there's some lines. When you buff, there's some lines. You're just taking the lines down to as fine as you can get them until you come to a polish. But when you polish, you'll be eliminating those lines completely. So we want to go across the surface along here as well. Keep going until you see everything gone. And I'm going to turn it like this, because you'll find that if you just keep it on one spot, you'll start to put little lines, little divots and things in there. You want to keep everything completely even. It's the same as when we was file along here, 1, 2, 3, turn 1, 2, 3, keep everything completely even. That's the professional way to make jewellery. We want to be the best of our abilities, so I will teach you all the little tricks you need to know to be the best. You'll go to a craft fair and everyone will tell you that your jewellery is better than everyone else's because of these little tricks I'm giving you. This is proper making jewellery. This is not like buying some beads and buying a bracelet and putting the beads on the bracelet. This is real jewellery. This jewellery, these techniques have been passed down hundreds of years. Jewellery trade in London has been going for a long time, and I'm lucky enough to be taught the techniques. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do a square. When you buy a bit of sheet metal like this, generally it's not straight on these sides. So I'm going to take my file along here and just take that excess off, make it nice and straight and flat. Just keep going until when your file is, when the marks that your file makes are completely along one side. it's the same with the what we did with the filing and the buffing. It's the same with a saw. A saw's rougher than a file, and then the buff stick is smoother than the file, and so on until you polish. So basically, when it's sawn, or even if it's like cut with a blade, what they do is they've got like a long blade that comes down and it cuts the metal. It's hard to explain. It's called a guillotine. Basically, what it does is it cuts. It's like a big blade that cuts into the metal, and it will leave a distorted edge. So what we do is we've filed it, and then we get it completely straight. So now I've just filed this edge, and now it's, you can see, you see that edge there compared to this edge here, where it's all like rough. This one is all nice and smooth, same texture along. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same along the other side. Now we've got those flat sides. Now I'm going to get my dividers. And just pick a size that seems good to you. That doesn't look too bad to me. And now all I do is I run along the side here and score. And then, oh, that wasn't done very well. Like that. And then we go along here. Like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this square out. So same again, just make sure that you keep to the left hand side of your scored line with your dividers. I always use this side here to guide me, to give me a nice straight line. Make sure you don't cut into your peg. Just use it as a guide. Give it a blow every now and then, just to get rid of your bits of silver. Now you might not be doing silver, you might do it in copper, that's fine. Letting the saw do all the work. I don't want to see it going really quick like that and really hacking into it. Be nice and slow and smooth. Now I'm just going to cut past my scored line. Like that. I'm just going to cut past it. So then when I cut the other side, it will meet it. And start the same again. This time you want your saw to be on the right hand side of your line. There we go. Now I'm going to get my safety back. Just go along here like that. There we go. Like that. Now, looking at this, you can see that this corner here is slightly higher than the rest. See what I mean? It sort of goes up at that corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to file this corner down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on this corner here, just like that, give it a start, and then I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It needs a tiny bit more. I'm going to go from the actual high point this time because I want to keep it even. You might need to go around and do this to all 4 of yours at first. Because I've been doing it for nearly, well, over 14 years now. I'm starting to get quite good at it. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad to me now, so I'm going to buff it up. Same again, go the opposite way to the way you filed. Give it a couple of strokes. You might need to give it a bit more than a couple, but I don't. Seems pretty smooth this time. Like that. Now we're going to do the surface. There we go. Oh. Right, same with our softer buff. Now I'm just going to show you this. That's getting a bit worn out now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this side. On the other end, tear this side as well, and then just prise it off like that. It's not going to be perfect. You've got a lovely clean bit now. So opposite way to where we buffed it last time, so we're going to go straight, along, not across, go along again, and again, and again. Now I'm going to go across the surface area. So what you could do, if you didn't want to polish something, you just want to texture it, just get it on your buff paper like that, with your finger on it, give it a little up and down motion, then you've got something that's textured now. It's quite cool. I really like that effect, it's nice. Okay, I'll do the other side. Got a square now. Square and a circle. It's coming on quite nicely. Right, moving on. Where did I put my silver? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to even this side up like we did with the square. Now, there's a trick to doing triangles. Right. Let's do another square. Quite long enough. Right. Now go into this corner, put the point down of your dividers, and then put the point down into your corner and make a curve like so. Do the same to the other corner, get into there as close as possible. Curve. Right, now we've got a cross. You see? What we're going to do is need something flat. Aha. Right. You can use a ruler if you want. I've got this little draw plate. Basically this just makes wire smaller, but the more we take this journey together, the more you're going to see me use these other tools. But I'm using it literally just as a flat edge. So you can use a ruler if you want. Now I've got my point again. I'm going to score from the middle of that cross down to the corner of my square. Now I'm going to do the same to this side. Now I've scored out a triangle. See that? Now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to cut it. Make sure the blade is the opposite side to your score line. Let the blade do all the work. Go up to your cross, go past it. Now start again. You might want to just do a couple of little small strokes just to get the blade started. Then we're going to go and start to use the whole saw. You want to use the whole length of the straw, or as close as possible. The longer stroke you have with the saw, the straighter the line you'll get, because you're using more of the blade. Okay, so that's that done. So now we're going to do the same again. Give it a good old file. Now this is a way to make things even. If they're not even, you can make it more even with the file. So now we're going to do this side. Have a little look to me. You might have gone higher on one point than the other point. You want to take it down at the high point. Start off your high point and then gradually bring it all down. Always keep an eye on what you're doing. Have a couple of, hit it a few times with a file, then turn it to the side. Have a little look. Always double check what you're doing. Otherwise you could be filing, thinking, oh yeah, I'm doing really well, I'm just going to take this bit down here. Next thing you know, you've gone too far. I'll take a little bit more off of this top bit here. Oh. Here we got a triangle. Go across from where we filed on all three sides. Same with the soft buff 1200. Oh, we want to go along here. And along here. Along here. Go over your surface area. There we've got a triangle. There we've got circle, square and triangle. Now if you've done that, congratulations, you're on a path to becoming a successful jeweller. Well done.